Good morning, listeners. Or good day, I should say. Good day to everybody. Dr. Joyce is here. This is the third Friday in June, and we are excited because you know that we are coming with Dr. Joyce. How you doing today, Dr. Joyce?
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. And how are you, Mrs. Michelle?
I am doing fantastic. Fantastic.
Good.
I am thrilled. I'm always thrilled about our sessions. You know, we're still making healthy happen in this year. And so Dr. Joyce always has something to share with us. And so today's segment is no different. This is June Health and Wellness, and we're talking about consumer awareness to protect against disease. And so, of course, we always start with our wonderful disclaimer. Dr. Joyce, you want to share it?
Yes, this information is for educational and inspirational purposes only and not to make a diagnosis or treatment. And most of the information today will be coming from the Purple Mind Shield of Protection book, this particular book. And this book will talk about information as far as foods is medicine to support a healthy immune system. So when we're talking today, we're going to be talking about keeping our natural defense systems healthy. And this is the book, this is the go-to book that can be purchased on Amazon.com.
All right, you guys, you got it. The Purple Mind book, Shield of Protection.
Yes.
All right, get your copies, all good information, and will help you in keeping that body in good shape. So Dr. Joyce has been answering questions from viewers that had listened to or tuned in to previous segments of the Reimagine You Lab podcast. And so today's question, the core focus is this segment addresses consumer awareness for protecting the body against disease, and by answering a question from one of our wonderful listeners. So glad to know that people are listening and sharing and getting goodness out of these. And so here's the question: can you share more natural foods that are metabolism boosters? And this came from Greg Parks down here in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Greg, I hope you are listening in. We've got some info to share with you. But yeah, so we'll be talking about some of those natural foods that are metabolism boosters. So want to go ahead and get into it, Dr. Joyce?
Okay.
So Dr. Joyce, now I see there is an enemy called harmful white fat.
Yes.
That is the fat that your body stores. Where does that live?
Okay, so when we talk about harmful white fat, we are talking about the subcutaneous fat located directly beneath the skin. And it manifests around puberty up to age 35. And then there is visceral white fat, which is located deep within the abdominal cavity. And that's more notable after the age of 50 in women.
So this is that part of my stomach, Dr. Joyce, that I don't like that much, right?
Absolutely. We don't like that much. So we're going to learn how to decrease that white fat today.
Let's decrease it. Oh, goodness. So Dr. Joyce, now I also see here that there's brown fat boosts metabolism. So yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, so this is our ally. And the brown fat, unlike the white fat, can be activated by heat, and this is thermogenesis. So usually when we're younger and we're doing more running, our bodies will heat up, and that will help to get rid of a lot of that white fat. But as we get older, we are not as active. And so we don't have this turbocharged metabolism that we have when we're younger to burn away that harmful white visceral fat in the abdominal cavity. So this brown fat lives, it's actually layered like in wafer thin sheets near the bone and muscles, with the greatest portion found along both sides of the neck, around the collarbone, and in the armpits. And we also have this brown fat that is around the spine, behind the breastbone, and inside the abdomen.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, listen, I want to know more.
So this is the fundamental truth. And again, we're basing the scientific facts must line up with the Word of God, and the Word of God is truth. And so what is the definition of truth? It is the absolute standard by which reality is measured. So in the verse of scripture, Genesis, and this is the first chapter, verses 11 and 12, in the New King James Version, God commanded the earth with its productive power to bring forth the plant kingdom according to its kind. God's laws of genetics were impressed upon the plant kingdom, just like the animal kingdom, like the human kingdom. We have to produce after our kind. So the plant kingdom must produce after its kind. So in the verse of scripture in Genesis 1, and this is verse 29, it says, God said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food." So from these scriptures, we know that the quality of the food that we're going to be eating to help with our metabolism, they must be coming from the land of the earth, and they must contain seeds that yield fruit from that same from that same seed.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good to know. Good to have that. So seed producing, and we're going to reproduce after our own kind, each out of its own kind, just like the plants, the animals, people. Okay, got it. I got that locked in.
Okay, so these are plant-based foods are medicine. It's not like medicine, but plant-based foods are medicine. And we're talking about organic, non-GMO, seeded plant-based. Foods are not like medicine, they are medicine. Natural farm, and that's FARM, pharmaceuticals, rather than PHARM, food as medicine. So food is medicine. But the food has to be non-GMO, and it has to be seeded. So this is what we're going to be looking for now, because there are so many products on the shelves, foods in the markets now that are not natural. They have been genetically modified with organisms, with bacteria that's not of the same plant kingdom. And so we're going to be looking for the price lookup number, and that's abbreviated PLU. So if you see these stickers, or if you see these wrapped around bundles of your vegetables, you're going to see a 5-digit number, and it should start with 9. 9 means that it has not been genetically modified. However, the litmus test is when you cut this fruit open, you should be able to see seeds in the fruit, just like that illustration at the top. If there are no seeds, even though the price lookup number is 9, then that means this fruit has been genetically modified. And then the other thing that you want to see is organic. USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, organic. This means that the fruit has not been sprayed with a harmful pesticide or herbicide. And this is very important, especially with apples, because they have thin peels, thin skin. So if we're using something that has been sprayed with a harmful pesticide or herbicide, it can get into the meat of the apple. In other words, it can also be harmful to your health. So look for USDA organic PLU number 9 in front of the 4-digit numbers. And then what we want to stay away from as much as possible is that if there's an 8, and you're not going to see too many of fruits with this PLU, which is price lookup sticker or code 8, because this means it has been genetically modified, and most companies don't want you to know that. And then we stay away from 4 and 3 of the 4 digits numbers, because this means that even though the fruit may not be genetically modified, it has been sprayed with a harmful pesticide or herbicide. And again, when you have thin-skinned fruits like apples, and especially your berries, your strawberries and your cherries and your blueberries and blackberries, that pesticide can actually get into the fruit and be harmful to our health.
Okay. All right. So we got to be paying attention. It's so important. And thank you for sharing that again with the PLUs in those numbers. So 9s are good, but you even want to confirm when you open up your fruit that it has seeds in it. But the ones we want to stay away from are those 3 and 4 in front of the 4 digits, and definitely the 8 on those 5-digit ones, because 8 lets us know for certain this food item has been genetically modified.
Yes.
Okay. I'm tracking with you, Dr. Joyce.
You are 100%.
Mr. Parks, I hope you're listening in so that you can get this. All right. Dosing rules. I didn't even know that was a thing, Dr. Joyce. Please explain.
Okay, so plant-based foods are medicine. So just like prescription medicines, these natural fat-fighting metabolism boosters require specific daily doses to be fully effective. So just like you get a synthetic drug and say you have to take 1 teaspoon every 4 hours or once a day, the same with the food. So the main thing again is quality of our plant-based foods, spotting quality, and we're looking again for the PLU #9 in front of the 4-digit number, and also USDA organic on our price lookup stickers and price lookup tags.
Yeah. Okay. So good. Okay. So some metabolism boosters. Okay. Some of our seeded fruits.
Yeah.
Now these, Dr. Joyce, it is seasonal.
And I love watermelon.
Me too.
And watermelon happens to be from Africa. It came over originally on the Silk Road from Africa, whereas apples came from Asia. But when we're talking about the seeded fruits and seasonality, okay, so to get the best metabolism boosting results, consume organic seeded fruits when they are ripe and in season. You don't need to eat them every day of the year. And so during the summer, the favorites are the watermelons. And again, we're looking at the dose. We're looking at the amount. And so watermelons, 2 cups diced or 4 thin slices. And for strawberries, again, that's seasonal, 1 to 2.5 cups daily. And then when we look at the fall or the autumn favorites, we have pears. Now, the important thing is to eat your pears and your apples with the peels. So you want to eat 2 whole pears with peels. And the apples, believe it or not, the apples originated, like I said, in Asia, and they came to the Americas through the Silk Road. There are 7,500 varieties of apples now. But the main apples that you want to purchase, because they have the highest level of polyphenols, would be Granny Smith, your Red Delicious, and your Renetti. And to get the best metabolism boosting, you should eat at least 3 apples with peels daily. Now, of course, because they have been doing the conventional breeding, and you'll see apples larger than they usually are, So if you have a larger apple, it has seeds. So you want to make sure it has seeds, so it has not been genetically modified. So you're getting the true medicine, the true bioactive polyphenols from these apples. But if it's extremely large, instead of eating 3, you could probably eat 1.5 daily with peels.
Okay. No, that's so good. I always remember, they used to say that little, an apple a day keeps the doctor away,
Exactly. These apples are the king of the fruits, and we're going to, talk a little bit more about apples later on.
Okay. Okay. And it looks like there's some other essential fruits you got listed here.
Yeah. Of course, we know berries, and we can almost tell when they're seasonal because they just taste different. They taste better. If you're a berry eater, or if you're an apple eater, and of course, watermelon, when it's seasonal, when it's in season. So the berries, fresh or frozen, of course, fresh is always better than frozen, but frozen is good, 1/4 cup daily, especially if you're making the smoothies. Grapefruit, 1.5 fruits, and you can split that across 3 daily servings, but do not add sugar to your grapefruit. And then apples, dried, if you eat dried apples, 3/4 cups.
Okay. No, that's so good.
So eating 3 organic seeded apples, and we said these are your Granny Smith, your Red Delicious, and your Renette, provides massive metabolic benefits. And the chlorogenic acid is a bioactive that increases metabolism, and it transforms lazy white fat, and this is found in apples, into active calorie-burning brown fat. And so that's why apples are considered the king of fruits. And also, apples has dietary fiber, and we always must remember that when whatever fruit or whole grain that has dietary fiber or vegetable, your immune system, your gut microbiome, which is actually you have more of gut microbiomes than you do cells, but they love dietary fiber. And this dietary fiber that is found in the king of the fruits in these apples also improve the body's insulin response. It boosts lipid metabolism, and it lowers total cholesterol levels. So you can see that it helps with that, with increased sugar levels. It decreases the lipid, your bad fat, which is your low density lipoprotein, LDL, and it helps the liver to actually get rid of the bad fat. So this helps prevent heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. And it also lowers your total cholesterol levels, which also help to prevent heart failure and heart disease and stroke. So this apple is the king of the fruit. And in addition to that, apples contain 84% pure water, carbohydrates, proteins, minerals, vitamins A, B, and C. And they are high in iron and potassium and many other nutrients. So now you see that not only bananas, but apples are high in potassium.
That's something new. I didn't know that. That's so good. That's so good. Okay.
So eating 3 organic seeded apples, and these are your Granny Smith, Red Delicious, Renette, provides massive metabolic benefits. And when we're talking about metabolic benefits, we're talking about keeping your blood pressure normal, keeping your sugar levels normal, and decreasing the bad fat, which is the lipids and the cholesterol. But the magic of this is in the peel of the apple, because in the peel of the apple, there is Ursolic Acid, which is a bioactive compound that lowers fat associated with inflammation. And so that's why we want to get rid of the white fat, burn the white fat, because increased fat is associated with inflammation.
Okay.
And Also, when you're eating the peel of the apple, it increases the adiponectin, which is a hormone that makes cells highly sensitive to insulin for a more effective metabolism. And also, by eating the peel of the apple, as well as the meat of the apple, protects circulation, stimulates healthy stem cells. And that healthy stem cells is very important because that is a part of our natural defense system, producing healthy stem cells. And these stem cells, they can morph wherever you need healthy cells, whether it's the heart or somewhere in the kidney or wherever else in the body. Healthy stem cells are very important because they can change and they can take on the consistency or the function of that organ. And it improves gut health, as we said, because of the fiber. And in addition to that, these apples, they starve cancer cells. So just by eating the peels, and I've heard people say, I don't like the peels, but there's so much good bioactive compound in the peel of the apple that we should eat that apple. And of course, we should make sure that it's organic and it hasn't been sprayed with a harmful pesticide or herbicide.
Yeah. Oh, this is good, Dr. Joyce. So good.
Thank you. Thank you. God be the glory.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we have other metabolism boosting herbs and vegetables. And so again, these are coming from the land, and these are non-GMO. They're organic, non-GMO vegetables. Avocado, 1 whole per day. Broccoli, 1/2 cup per day. Broccoli sprouts, 1/2 cup. And carrots, 3 medium carrots. These will all help to boost your metabolism, to burn that fat. See, the whole thing is to protect your DNA, burn the bad fat, and boost your metabolism.
Oh, and there's even more to incorporate here too. I'm loving these pharmaceutical food doses.
Exactly, along with the dose, okay? So here we have chili peppers, and again, the serranos, Anaheims, and Hatch. And they have to be organic, non-GMO, 2 fresh or 1/3 to 1 teaspoon of dry chili peppers. Now, if you have acid reflux or ulcers, you might want to stay away from chili peppers. Okay, and especially the powder that you sprinkle over your food, maybe at night. Just be aware of that. Onions, 2 medium red onions. As far as soy, it has to be organic, non-GMO. And we must remember that because soy was one of the first crops that was genetically modified. So almost all of the soy in this country has been genetically modified. So you may even have to go to an Asian market where they're actually bringing in food that has not been genetically modified from other countries. And if you eat the edamame, you do 1/4 cup, which is equal to 1/2 cup of tofu, miso, or 4 tall glasses of soy milk. And again, it has to be non-GMO organic soy milk. Tomatoes, 1 raw medium-sized tomato, or tomato paste, 1 heaping tablespoon, or tomato sauce or soup, 3/4 cup, or tomato powder. Powder, that should be powder instead of powder. And that's 1 1/2 tablespoons of tomatoes. Now, the thing about tomatoes, and this is what I heard, and you just might want to be aware of it and see if it applies to you. Once you turn 25, there is a bioactive compound in tomatoes to repel insects. But what it can do, it can cause inflammation of your joints. So if you're eating tomatoes and you're feeling a little achy and ouchy in your joints, then you might want to just, do that and use one of the other boosters, vegetable herb boosters for your metabolism.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know.
Okay, so we have some powerhouse whole grains. And all of these whole grains, they are ancient whole grains. And you can eat 1 cup, which yields about 7 grams of these whole grains daily. And so we have the barley, we have purple maize, and we have buckwheat. And if you want to eat these to boost your metabolism, you may have to go online to order these. With your barley, the barley contains a bioactive called beta-D-glucan. Now, beta-D-glucan is a fat-fighting fiber, which is found also in mushrooms. The barley also contains lutein, zeaxanthin, and these two protect your stem cells and your vision, that lutein and your zeaxanthin. So they do have a supplement called Visual Ability, which has lutein and zeaxanthin. And again, that's to help to protect your vision. The purple maize has this awesome dark pigment, and it's called anthocyanin. And it combats body fat, reduces weight gain, lowers your glucose lipid levels. It lowers your glucose and your lipid levels. And this is also the pigment, the anthocyanin, which is also found in corn, the blue tortilla corn chips. And it's also found in this purple pigment, or dark pigment is found in purple sweet potatoes. So you might want to trade off the white sweet potatoes for the purple sweet potatoes, because now you're getting something that is going to help to fight fat, as well as boost your metabolism. And then as far as the whole grains, we have buckwheat, which contains something called rutin. And this is a bioactive, which is anti-adipose, which is anti-fat, and it activates your brown fat, increases the thermogenesis to burn the white fat, and it stimulates gut health to support obesity-induced inflammation. So these are the grains that you're going to go to if you want to fight the fat, fight the white fat, and boost your metabolism.
Yeah, that's good. I'm loving what I'm learning, Dr. Joyce. And there's something that in each of these sections, when you talk about the fruits, the grains, now we're going to talk about some of the beans and legumes, oils. So there's multiple things that can be metabolism boosters, which I think is great.
Yes. So you don't have to eat all of these foods the same day. And there are a variety, enough of them. So if you don't like peas, but you might like lentils, you can choose.
Yeah. I love that. I love that variety.
Yes. So with your beans, you eat 3/4 cup of navy beans, peas, lentils. Now with the chickpeas or the garbanzo beans, you only eat 13 tablespoonfuls of that. So you don't have to eat as much as you do the navy beans, the peas, or the lentils.
Okay.
And then as far as the oils or the fat, we're going to stick with our extra virgin olive oil. And we know that that's a great oil for a healthy heart. And the heart, the liver, and the kidneys, they play a major part in the metabolism of our foods. And we want to eat 2 tablespoons of the extra virgin olive oil. And you want to make sure when you're reading the ingredients on the jar that it just says olive oil and you don't have any other additional oil. And you want to make sure it's not from a variety of places, like from Spain and Italy. You just want to make sure it's from one of those places. If it's coming from Greece or Spain or Italy, or even made in the US, just one particular place. And that way you know you're getting pure extra virgin olive oil.
Okay. Here's the EVOO.
So now we also have tree nuts and spices that contain one or more bioactive compounds that are natural metabolism boosters. And these would be your tree nuts, 1/4 cup daily dose. And so you're going to have almonds, cashew, macadamias, pecans, pistachio, or walnuts. These are your go-to for your nuts. And as far as spices, turmeric. Wow, turmeric is the spice. 2 2/3 tablespoons, but I call these the twin powers. You also have to use black pepper. So you're going to have turmeric, 2 2/3 tablespoons plus 2/3 teaspoons of freshly cracked black pepper. These together, these are called your twin powers. They will help to fight inflammation. So even if you have joints, achy joints, turmeric, you include that spice on your vegetables, on your salads, or whatever you're eating. That will help to fight inflammation and boost your metabolism. And then also 1/2 tablespoon, which is equal to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we want to make sure it's Ceylon cinnamon. And this will also help to boost your metabolism.
Good stuff. All right, turmeric. I've got to make sure that I get me some.
And make sure again that your spices are organic. And whenever possible, you want to see that little non-GMO verified with the little butterfly. And I had one viewer to call and ask me, I bought some olive oil, but the non-GMO with the butterfly is black and white. It doesn't matter if it's in color or if it's black or white, as long as it's non-GMO verified with the little butterfly. Okay, so now we're at the dried or fresh mushrooms. And we want to make sure on the package it says with vitamin D. That's important too, because the mushrooms now the mushrooms have been exposed to the sun, and then this beta D glucan, which is the sugar in the mushroom from exposure to the sun, it becomes vitamin D. It has the vitamin D. So when you're purchasing your packages of mushrooms, look to see if it says vitamin D on it. And then you know that you're getting the vitamin D as well as the sugar, beta glucan. Beta glucan, like in barley, is a fat-fighting soluble fiber. And again, your gut loves fiber. So the gut microbiome activates with your immune system to boost your metabolism. And with the mushrooms, it lowers the cholesterol. It helps to prevent and cure illnesses. And mushrooms are great for people with autoimmune disease because it helps to boost their immune system.
Yeah. Okay, this is good info. I didn't realize this about mushrooms. Okay.
Yes, and it's a fungi. It's okay to eat the fungi, but don't eat yeast.
Yeah.
Yeast is a bad player. Whether it's brewer's yeast or baker's yeast, I try to make sure I keep yeast out of my diet. Okay, so you can optimize your defense systems by consuming these portions 2 times per week. Okay. Now we're still talking about mushrooms. So we see that the mushrooms that contain the largest amount of the beta D glucan, you don't have to eat as much.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the shiitake and the cremini, you only have to eat 1 cup. That's the dose of these mushrooms. For the portobello, 3.5 cups, as well as the enoki, 3.5 cups. And then for your, and also 3 cups for the dried porcini, 5 cups for the dried chanterelle, 15 dried white button mushrooms, or 6 cups, 6 fresh cups if you're eating the white button mushroom. So you can see that the white button mushrooms do not contain as much of the beta D glucan, so you can eat more servings of that twice per week.
Yeah. This is good to know, like, and even being able to distinguish the differences in the potency associated with, the different types of mushroom. So this is a good way to lock in. You guys, you can take screenshots of these so that when you're in the grocery store and you're looking for things to pick up, you know exactly what to get and how much. Because remember, we're talking about doses to help us. These are our FARM pharmaceuticals, and so we want to make sure that we have our list of items that we need to be looking for and making sure we get enough to be able to have that power pack and build in boosting that metabolism.
Absolutely. Well stated, Mrs. Michelle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the good news, a variety of foods that are metabolism boosters. The achievable food doses, the quantities of the foods you need to eat to get health benefits are not ridiculous. We saw that. It's a variety of them, so you don't have to eat all of these foods at one time, and then you don't have to eat a large amount. Stay focused on the quality. I can't not mention that enough, because by staying with non-GMO, which we call the Franken, stay away from non-GMO, you are sticking to quality. By staying away from the PLU 4 and 3 and focusing on USDA organic, you are sticking and staying focused on quality. So in this country, we have to look at quality. We have to be able to read out PLU stickers and codes and look for organic and look for the non-GMO verified project labels. And remember the fat fighting principles. Eat in moderation and do not go back for second servings. Sometimes that's hard, but eat in moderation, exercise regularly, drink adequate, at least 8 glasses of natural spring water. And I'm saying natural spring water because we want alkaline water. And the purified water and other water may not be alkaline water. And you want to purchase water now as much as possible in glass bottles. Or if you have to purchase in the plastic bottles, look for the BPA free, because research shows that plastic bottles as well as plastic packages or wraps contains these phthalates that belong to a category of compounds called obesogens, and that's linked to obesity. Along with they can cause hormonal disruption and get appropriate rest.
Appropriate rest, for sure, that's needed.
Yes. So in conclusion, how these foods work as medicine to boost your immune system. Number one, they activate your brown fat to burn down excessive white fat. They reduce inflammation. They improve your insulin sensitivity, and this will help promote stem cells. I have to say that if your sugar is elevated, then stem cells do not like sugar. They will not grow in sugar. And stem cells is what keeps, it's part of our natural defense system. It helps to repair organs, and it creates a healthy brown fat rather than a harmful white fat. So we want to keep that insulin, that blood sugar, keep a check on that and keep it within normal range. These foods that boost your immune system will help shrink your waist size by actively reducing that. You remember we talked about the white fat is in the visceral around the organs, and it can even get into your liver. And sometimes people will say, well, I never drink, doctor. Why do I have fatty liver? And it's because of this fat. Mm-hmm. It's not related to alcohol, but it could be related to your diet, especially high fructose corn syrup. Mm-hmm. And it restores your gut microbiome. And it does that because these foods contain fiber. And like we said, gut microbiome, the healthy gut bacteria love fiber. It improves your lipid metabolism to safeguard against heart attacks, strokes, and heart failure. And also, by eating these foods, it will help to suppress your appetite and actively slow down your body's ability to grow fat.
These are all really good things. You know, you don't always think about it like this. This is a nice list of all of the, things that it does, that food medicine. Food is medicine. I love this.
Medicine.
Absolutely love this.
And of course, this is the cited literature. And like I said, the Purple Mind Shield of Protection really is a great reference in addition to your nutrition and wellness that you may already have. And then we have 2 books by Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee did the heavy lifting for me when I was doing research with this. He has 2 great books, Eat to Beat Disease and Eat to Beat Your Diet. And so you might just want to, take a screenshot and maybe order one of these books, all of these books. They will really, really help you.
Yeah, this has been so good, Dr. Joyce. So good. Everybody, I hope that you have made some really good notes from fruits and vegetables with seeds, the oils, the beans and lentils, all of those things, the nuts that are available to us that can help to boost metabolism. Because a lot of times, I'm over 50 now. And so I know that my metabolism has slowed down a bit. So I'm glad to know I've got some power tools, some food and fuel that I can use to rev it back up. And so this has been good, Dr. Joyce. Always a pleasure to have you on. Always a pleasure to have you on. Everyone, Dr. Joyce, appreciate you.
Thank you. And Mrs. Michelle, I would like to thank you for allowing me to come on your show. And I also would like to thank our viewers and Miss Brielle for the beautification of my slides, Mr. Artist Jomar for the wonderful illustrations, and Dr. Aaron, my naturopathic consultant, for his help with the health, nutrition, and wellness. So just thank everyone and all of you.
It takes a team. The teamwork still makes the dream work, Dr. Joyce. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you got something out of this episode, please share with others that you know or think may be able to benefit from it. Definitely send us in comments. Let us know if you've got questions. Share them with us. Dr. Joyce has been answering a lot of the viewer questions, so please continue to send those in. We thank and appreciate you. And until next week, we will see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.